Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree has introduced 3 new very unique items, and if you're a longtime Souls fan, then you'll notice these items are a very cool callback to the older games. In this video, I'm going to quickly show you how to change into all 3 forms: the dragon, the priestess dragon, and the lamenter. And I'm also going to explain what each one does, and the only thing I ask for you in return is a like and a sub on this video, and if you do, thank you so much. But let's get started with the first form you'll acquire, and definitely the easiest one to get. So to start, head to the shaded castle main plaza Grace, and from here go through the door on the right, and if it's closed, don't worry, you can also go through the door on the left, but regardless of the path you take, you need to end up in this spot in the castle. From here, kill the militia enemies and then take the ladder down. Just follow the path all the way down until you grab the painting. Now that you have the painting, we can proceed to the main area, and this will be great since all the stuff you need for the next forms will all be unlocked in the same area. First, start at the castle front Grace, and then take the high road to the pillar path Grace, and finally proceed to the dragon's pit. This is a cool dungeon to explore, so I'll let you do that on your own, but at the bottom you need to kill the ancient dragon man. Once he's dead, he'll drop you a great katana called the Dragon Hunter's Great Katana, and I 100% recommend that you upgrade this as much as you can. Not only is this weapon good and has a very strong Ash of War, but it also does bonus damage to dragons, and when we get later in the steps, trust me, you're gonna want this. Anyways, now that you've come this far, you now enter a new area called Jagged Peak. The first thing you'll notice in this area is in the middle of a pond you'll see a big dragon. Kill it now if you want, or kill it later, but regardless, take the path on the right and follow this all the way back until you get to the dragon communion. Once here, obviously grab the Grace, and if you killed the dragon at the pond, talk to the dragon priestess. Talk to her, exhausting all of her dialogue, and this will just help you with steps later in the video. If you didn't kill the dragon, it's completely okay. This is a step for the next dragon form anyways. But for the first dragon form, it's good to know that we don't need to kill a single dragon. Now that we have this Grace, you can go back to the pond and take the other path that leads you up the mountain. Like I said, we don't need to kill any dragons for this first form, so just run by everything all the way to the top. Once you've gone far enough, you'll come to the Jagged Peak Mountainside Grace. From here, follow the path I take, jumping up the wind and landing on the lower ledge. From this ledge, just run all the way up until you see this chair. Wait for the ghost to come in and then fade away, and once he's gone, he'll drop you the rock heart. To use this, equip it to wherever you want and then remove all of your armor that you have on. Then click the button to turn it on, and this in my opinion is the coolest looking of all the forms and definitely the easiest to get. But you might be wondering, what is the point of using this in the first place? Well, the main point of this form is to increase dragon communion incantations. This gives you a 20% boost to their damage, and it's important to note that this only does this for dragon communion incantations and not dragon cult incantations. On top of that, being in dragon form passively boosts all 4 status resistance by 50, and this form gives you a 10% flat damage negation, and this does not factor in with your buffs or your equipment. With all that said, that wraps up the first form, and we'll now move on to the next form, which is the priestess form. What's good about this is now you have everything unlocked, so this will be a lot quicker for you. So first off, for this, make sure that you've killed the dragon in the pond. So if you haven't done that yet, obviously go back and do this, and once it's dead, this dragon will drop you its flesh. All you need to do is take that flesh back to the dragon communion and talk to the priestess here. Like I said before, just exhaust all of her dialogue, and from here you now need to see Iggen. You can find him in this spot where you'll see the 2 dragons fighting, and from here you need to kill these 2 dragons. Kill the 2 dragons here, and he will request that you summon him at the fight for Baal. Nothing you've really done in this video so far should really be hard up until this point, because now you have to fight Baal. So go all the way to the top of the mountain at the mountaintop Grace and get ready for the hard part. Right when you walk into the boss fight on the left, you should see Iggen summon. You need to call him in, and good luck doing it because the boss will literally belly flop on you for trying to do this. But once you've summoned him in, you now somehow need to defeat the dragon. I definitely recommend using the Dragon Hunter Katana for this and spamming its Ash of War, since you can safely get attacks off and they do high damage. And hey, don't judge me for it, but I recommend using Mimic here. And if you judge me for using summons, I literally don't care. This dragon is a nuclear bomb. This shit was not fair, but it was definitely a top 5 boss for me in my opinion. It was an absolutely cool fight and cool boss. Once it's dead and you've killed it with Iggen, return back to the communion for the priestess heart. And just like before, removing your armor and using this will turn you into the form. And this works the same way, but this gives you a 20% damage buff to dragon cult incantations. You should really be picking the form you're using off of the spells you like using, but I don't know, man. Use what you want. And now it's time for the final form, which we need to get the lamenter mask asked for. To get this, head to the Dragon Communion Grace and run across behind the giant dragon that's dead. Once behind him, you'll see a bunch of red flowers, and that's how you know you're in Shuro's hidden grave. Just run through all the way to the back left, and you'll find a big gate for the lamenter's Geel. Progress through the entire dungeon all the way to the bottom, and it's really not that hard, so I'll leave it up for you. But we're basically just getting all the way to the boss fight and defeating the boss here. Once it's dead, you'll be awarded with the mask. And also, for a quick tip, I did use the wave of gold for the boss fight when he summons in a bunch of his clones, and it made an already easy fight just a whole lot easier. Just like before, removing your armor and using this mask will turn you into the form, and while in this form, your arcane raises by 8 points, which can help you farming drop rate items, I guess. The mask also allows you to make your head really big to do damage, but it's not that impressive. It really isn't that good of a form to use unless I'm not seeing something, so you gotta let me know in the comments if something's good about this, because I haven't really seen it yet. But it's definitely a cool item to use, and I prefer it over just getting another summon. But anyways guys, that's gonna do it for this video. You now have all 3 forms unlocked for this DLC. I hope I helped you out, and if I did, drop a like or a sub, because it means a lot to me. Comment rock if you made it this far in the video so I can thank you down below. But anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Prez, and I'm out, bruh. Peace.